welcome back to another first time reaction, and today we are checking out another artist, another singer, another group. I'm not even sure because I couldn't find a picture of this singer, couldn't find a picture of this artist or this band, so I don't know whether a do or a do is an artist, is a singer, is a band. I don't know anything. From the thumbnail, it looks a bit crazy. Enough of my talking, let's jump straight to my first time ever reaction to a do. To Ado, Tote Musica. To a do, Backline. To a do, I'm Invincible from One Piece Film Red. To Ado, New Genesis. A do with her song, Fleeting Lullaby. To a do, Darkness. To a do, live performing Oda. To a do's live performance of Show. Covering Unravel, the TK opening, Tokyo Ghoul. To a do, Value. To a do, Ashite. Announcement at the end of this video? Did I say I had an announcement in this video? Feel like I did. That is right! We are going to see Ado live, baby! I will be there in London with all of you watching Ado live. I cannot believe it's happening. I cannot believe I got the invite. I couldn't even believe my eyes when I got the message. And I will be there and I cannot wait. It's gonna be amazing! It's gonna be amazing! I'm so excited! I'm so excited! I can't believe it. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome, and I cannot wait to see you amazing people all there as well. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh. I swear, right now, I feel like I had a dream. And no, I don't mean like the famous quote. I really don't feel like I actually attended this concert. From the moment I left the building, left the venue, got in my taxi to go home, and the moment I was sitting there, I felt like I was living a fever dream. I want to say this. The Ado Troxy London concert was arguably the greatest gig I've ever been to. It's the best indoor gig I've ever seen in my life. And I stand by those words. It is so unique, so incredible, and absolutely mind-blowing. And the second I left, I wanted to go back in and watch it again. Absolutely amazing. So, if you're probably wondering what this video is about, I just want to do a little bit there. This video, I want to basically do a video where I'm just going to talk about my experience of the Ado concert in London. I also asked a lot of you to give me questions that you would like me to answer for this video, so I'll also be doing that. I'm going to do a Q&A at the end of this video and we'll go over it. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It's just going to be pretty much raw and uncut. There might be a few cuts here and there. But other than that, it's just going to be me talking about my experience at the Ado concert in London. I was lucky enough to go, and my word, I'm so glad I did. I've been reacting to Ado's music for a long time now, well over a year. I only started reacting to music 2 years ago, and Ado was one of the first big Japanese artists I started reacting to when we started listening to Japanese music. And I fell in love with her immediately, and I've constantly complimented her amazing vocals, cementing her as what I would consider arguably the greatest female vocalist on this planet. I think for her age, it's kind of hard to dispute that. She is incredible. Her range is mind-blowing, and it was just like a dream to be able to see that in person. That's something I never thought I was going to be able to do, and then I was lucky enough to be able to experience that. So this is my story. This is the story of the Ado concert in London. This is all the questions you've all asked around it. And this is what the night was like, what the concert's like, what the crowd is like, what I thought of it, my thoughts as a huge fan of Ado, what I wanted, and did I get what I wanted? Was it overrated, underrated? Was it exactly what I thought it was going to be? Is it worth it? Well, let's find out. So, first thing, got into the car and I headed into London. I got dropped off outside of Troxy. I've never actually been to Troxy before. It's I don't think it's a relatively new venue in London, but it's not one I've been to. I've been to a lot of London venues. When I grew up with my my dad being a huge fan of rock music. He used to take my brother and me to concerts in London all the time. We used to travel to London and we used to go there. We'd pretty much be there once or twice a month watching bands live in London. So I've been to most venues over the country, especially in London. It's rare that I go to one I haven't been to before. So I was surprised when I saw a name I didn't recognize, and that was Troxy. So about the venue, I turn up, get out of the car, I'm looking at the venue, and it's a beautiful old looking theater. It's very like long. That's the one thing I noticed. It looks like from the front onwards, you wouldn't think it was that big. It just looks like quite a small building. Very like old school architectural London style looking building. So I got out of the car, went to the front, and the first thing I noticed was the queues. I had been told that people had got there about 12, maybe even 24 hours earlier. People had really turned up so early to get into this gig, to get to the front as quickly as possible. So when I turned up, not joking, there were people queued up. A fan recognized me straight away and said hi, and they had been queuing since 1 p.m. The doors don't open until 7, so they'd been standing there for 6 hours, and they were one of the ones near the front, so that gives you an idea of how long people have been standing there for. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this, the queues, but there was one for both sets of doors. There was 4 doors, and there was 2 and 2, and the queue started here, and they went round and back the side of the building. I swear each queue probably went back for about a mile. I know, I'm not exaggerating, I mean actually a freaking mile. Like, crazy. I've never seen anything like that. The eagerness for people to see a dough, I've never seen anything like that with any gig I've been to. Couldn't believe it. It was just so awesome to see. Yeah, it was so cool. And then so I stood out front for a little bit, chatted to a few people who watch my videos, and then eventually I got into the concert. As you walk through the doors, they had the Ado picture area sort of set up on the right hand side as you walk through the doors, where everyone was taking pictures. It was very hard to get a picture because everyone was taking pictures. And then one thing I also noticed was the time, because I had been told that Ado was going to come on stage about 7:30, give everyone half an hour to get through the doors. But Ado didn't get on stage till 8:30 or 8:40. And I think that's either because I heard the time wrong, or because it took so long for everyone to get in. I think they wanted to make sure everyone was also in the building, which I thought was incredibly considerate, because usually if there's a time of bands coming on, they're on that time, not a minute later. And I thought it was really amazing how when Ado finally came on, there was not a single person in the lobby. No one was waiting, everyone was in the building, so no one missed any part of Ado's set, which I thought was really amazing as well. So yeah, the picture setup was on the right hand side. I managed to get a couple of pictures with some people on my own, and then on the left hand side you had the merch booth. I know a few of you have got questions about this. We'll do the Q&A at the end. I'll just go through what the night was like. The merch booth, there was loads of like different merch. They had hoodies, t-shirts. In fact, bear with me 1 second. This is what I got. So, boom. This is what I picked up. So I'm gonna be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. Not with the merch itself, but with my unluckiness of it. That's what I was a little bit disappointed about, because I didn't get to go in the venue until a bit later on. And at this point, most of the merch was sold out. They did get loads, but not of the stuff I wanted. So the thing I really wanted to get my hands on was a hat. They had hats, they sold out. I think they had 20 different items or something like that. There's quite a big array of stuff. It was quite pricey here in the UK. Usually when I go to concerts or gigs or festivals, I'd say the t-shirt price varies between 20 and 35 pounds. This was probably the most expensive I've seen t-shirts, at 40 pounds. That was how much the t-shirts were. However, I will say, I haven't been to a concert in a long time. So when I used to go, this is how much they might be now. I haven't been to a concert in a long time, so it could be normal. The hoodies, they were zip hoodies. They were really nice hoodies. They were 75 pounds here in the UK. So I know a few people are asking questions about the pricing of the merch. I would say if you want to get loads of stuff, you're probably gonna want to take about 200 quid. I would say if you want to get a lot of stuff. I don't remember how much the keychains were. They have folders, keychains, hats, hoodies, t-shirts. They had like a picture as well. They had loads of stuff. Sadly, I got in late, and when you went in the venue, the queue for the merchandise stand was not dissimilar from the queue outside. People were queuing for like 2+ hours to get their merchandise, which is fair enough. The venue, Troxy's a very small venue in terms of the lobby. The room itself is big. The lobby is very small. So they had the merchandise stand in the corner, which just meant that the lobby was like just packed full of people trying to get merchandise. What a lot of people didn't realize, which I found out later on, was there's a merchandise stand upstairs. And there was no one there. So I was actually trying to find the toilet, went upstairs, stumbled across a merchandise stand, and that's where I got my t-shirt. There was no one there. I just walked straight up to it and bought a t-shirt. Then I went around the corner, went to the toilet because there was huge queues downstairs, and went back downstairs. I did have seating tickets, but I didn't realize that until after the night. And I probably would have stood anyway. I prefer standing at these kind of shows. So I was standing in the end. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the merchandise. I will say, don't worry about not getting anything. They seem to stock loads and loads and loads of t-shirts and loads of hoodies. So if you're going and you want a t-shirt or you want a hoodie, there was various different styles as well. That's the one I personally picked. I nearly got a white one. They came in like variations of white and black. But in the end I went with black. It's like just safer really. So yeah, if you're worried about not being able to get merch, don't be. I would be very surprised if they sell out. They had so much. The piles of t-shirts and jumpers was crazy. And like I said, I got my merchandise when the queues were like sort of dying down a little bit, and there was still so many. So there's no worry of running out. So if you are someone who's like, do I need to get there early to get merch? You'll be fine. Unless you really want some of the more specific stuff, like the key rings, I know a lot of people wanted, and the hats, they sell out a lot quicker. I wear baseball caps all the time, so I would have loved a baseball cap. Sadly, didn't get one, and I'm so disappointed about that. The thing is, I could buy one resale now. It's not the same. You want to get it from the venue. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'll never buy merchandise resale, even if it is from the gig. I'll always try and get it there. You know, you want the story. So yeah, so I picked up a t-shirt. I would have got more, but like I said, I didn't want a hoodie because I wouldn't wear it. I don't usually wear zip hoodies that unless I'm wearing something else, and I usually wear like lighter colored ones. And if there was a white zip hoodie, which I didn't see, I would have 100% have got that. That would have been lovely. But they only had it in black. So yeah, but I'm usually a big fan of hoodies, but I don't usually get concert hoodies. But I always grab a t-shirt or something. You got to get something, right? So that's pretty much it for the prelude. You guys came here I think you came here to hear something else, right? Am I wrong? I still got a few things I want to talk about before we jump into that though. First thing I want to talk about is the crowd. Like I said, I've been to a lot of concerts. I'm not joking when I say this. I think I've been to about 12 festivals in the UK. I've been to Sonosphere, Bloodstock, and Download multiple times. I went to Sonosphere every year it was on other than one. I've been to Download multiple years, and I've been to Bloodstock for like 5-6 years as well. I haven't been to festivals since I became a dad, but before that I used to go all the time. So I've seen hundreds, thousands of bands live. And like I said, I used to be in London pretty much once a month at least, seeing bands live in London. So I've seen tons and tons of bands live. I've never seen a crowd like the G.O.T crowd, ever. It was the most diverse crowd I've ever experienced. I'm not joking. There was so many people from Japan that seemed to have traveled, I'm guessing from Japan, to see G.O.T, or maybe they were Japanese people living in London that wanted to see G.O.T, but either way, there was a lot of Japanese people there, which really surprised me. I didn't realize how many people would travel from all over the world. But when I started seeing people, I realized most people, and I'm guessing it doesn't matter what country you live in, just wanted to see G.O.T, and they didn't care if they had to fly for it. So after a while, I started clicking in, because there was a lot of people from Japan. I bumped into someone from Brazil, someone from Spain, a bunch of people from all over Europe, people from everywhere. I'm not joking. It was amazing to see. I just looked across this crowd, and everyone was different. It was everyone. It literally every age, every kind of person you could think of was just there in front of me, and I was just looking. And I was like, this is awesome. I've never seen a crowd like that, and it showcases Ado's fan base so much that it's just this like collective of random people from all over the world. And I think this world tour was so needed, and I'm hoping Ado does another one in like a couple of years or whenever, and does bigger venues, because I think now they realize the star power of Ado, how quickly these smaller venues sold out, because Troxy is a pretty small venue in comparison to a lot of other bigger venues in London. I'd like to see Ado play at something like Elms Court or the O2 Arena. I think Ado would do really well at as well. Wembley Arena, I think Ado would do really well at too. I have no doubt in my mind Ado would sell these out super quick as well. They're much bigger, but I definitely reckon Ado could easily do it. I think something like the O2 Arena would be a really good shout. Elms Court would also be really good. The Wembley Arena I like, but I think the other two would be better. So maybe we'll get to see that, and hopefully we just get to see like those bigger ones as well, because Ado really could have sold out a bigger venue, massively so. Seeing the level of enthusiasm the crowd had. But yeah, like I was saying, the audience, so awesome. It made me like really happy to be like part of this community, because I was just looking around at how many people are just from everywhere, and it made me realize how many people must watch like my videos and where everyone else comes from as well, and it's just really awesome. Ado really does manage to create this like mongrel fan base of just people from everywhere, you know. It's a wonderful, we're just a collective of random people all with our love of her just coming together, and that was one thing I noticed about the crowd. The next thing I want to say, the show has a no camera policy, so you're not allowed to take your phone out to take any kind of pictures, any kind of videos, nothing like that. You're not allowed to have any binoculars or anything like that. Nothing pointing at the stage. The only thing you're allowed is light sticks. Now, as a British person, what happens is if you record the stage, this is not limited to British people, but if you record the stage at any time in the show, they'll shut down the box and you will only be able to hear Ado. I think when that happens, they don't turn it back on. I don't know if this has happened other places, but I'm going to be honest. I was fairly confident this was going to happen in the UK. As a British person, I know what a lot of British people are like, and I was like, if anyone's going to record, I feel like the British people are going to do it. And I was totally wrong. I did not see one camera pointed at that stage. It was amazing. It was like stepping back into a gig from my childhood. There was not one person filming. Not one person. The entire crowd was fixated on the concert, was vibing, and was just loving it. No one filmed anything. The box stayed on the entire show, and I didn't see one person get told off. I was so proud of every fan there. It was amazing to see. It was so cool. Which brings me on a little bit to the box itself. So Ado has this is something I wasn't really like, I didn't know what it was. So we've all seen the videos on Ado's channel of the live performances, and I thought that the Ado box was a cage, but it isn't. It's a lot more than that. And I honestly thought it was like an actual cage that Ado stays in, and I never really thought too much about it. But then I realized it isn't. So Ado, I believe, steps inside this box. It is I don't want to spoil it too much because I want you guys to experience it, but all I'll say is it's not what you think. There's a lot more to this box than I thought. I'm not going to spoil too much about the show because I want people to experience it for themselves. But I also understand that a lot of people have been watching this video because it's really hard to get tickets. So I will share as much as I can, but still keep some of the mystery there. I don't want to give away too much, but I also do. So I'll do my best to ride that line, if you know what I mean. So basically, Ado steps into the box. You don't see this. This is just what I'm guessing. And then what you see is Ado, but more of an image of her from inside the box. It's almost like, how do I not spoil it? Let's just say the box projects Ado inside it. That's what I'll say, okay? But the box does a lot more than that. And you will all see this when you go to the shows, but let's just say the box is part of the visual array of the show. I can imagine they are very expensive and complicated to make considering the things that you see on this box, and you will all see. And this kind of leads me to the beginning of the concert. So I walked in, I got myself a bottle of water, found myself a nice spot, stood and waited for Ado to come on stage. A really funny gentleman that I believe is part of the production team came out, made some jokes, pretty much told everyone, don't record, enjoy the show, keep your phones away. That's like a big thing about the whole time. You're going to be told that many, many times before the show even starts. And also, I'll say, if you do go to a show, politely encourage people not to. Don't be rude. Obviously, people are going to be drinking, so it's easy for things to be taken the wrong way. But we're all there to enjoy the show. None of us want it to be shut down. So politely encourage people, hey, put your phone away if you see anyone. Luckily, I didn't see anyone, but I went in the show with that mindset. If I did, I would say, don't ruin it for other people, put your phone away. And like, I feel like that's a good mentality for everyone to have there, because then you don't have to worry. So the guy comes out on stage, tells everyone, behave yourself, points at certain people in the crowd, you especially, to, you know, someone else. Wasn't me. No, I'm very behaved. And then everything goes quiet, and then all of a sudden, the stage just lights up. The band starts coming out, which, by the way, they were amazing. They start coming out onto the stage, and we start getting to see all of them. The background screens light up, the box lights up, and it flashes with all the countries Ado is going to see, all the cities. And when London showed up on that screen, the whole crowd erupted. And then the box itself starts doing something pretty magical. And all of a sudden, after the box does this magical opening, this really beautiful display, which again, I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but I imagine most of you are watching this. I don't know why most of you are watching this. I would presume most of you are watching this because you can't go. But maybe some of you are watching this to build up some hype. So I don't know. You can skip over parts, you don't want to be spoilers. But let's just say, the box becomes very traditional, represents a lot of Japan, and then all of a sudden shatters, and you see Ado standing right there. And we go straight into the first song. And my word, I swear the crowd lost its mind. I think for the first song, you couldn't even hear Ado live. Like, I couldn't even tell you what the first song was. I'm not even joking. The crowd was losing its mind. I was losing my mind. I nearly cried so much at the beginning, but I was literally like, I was looking around and I was like, I'm on my own because I didn't go with anybody. If I start crying, I'm going to look like a weirdo. I'm just going to be a weirdo standing on his own crying. So I was like, don't cry. So at first, I had to the first 10 minutes of the concert, I was just trying not to cry. I was like, don't cry. This is amazing. Don't cry. And then the second song Ado played was Usewa. And the whole crowd was just losing their minds. I honestly thought that was going to be one of the later songs. That was the second song that Ado played. And it just, oh man, the crowd was so electric. So electric. It didn't matter where you were standing, everyone was moving. There was a lot of glow sticks as well for the UK. It was so wonderful to see. And yeah, the crowd just lost its absolute mind. Ado's voice sounds incredible. Absolutely incredible. I don't understand how it's possible for a human to be able to hit the note she does for as long as she does and not suffer like strain or like vocal issues, because the growls that she does live, you hear that strain. You're there. And it is incredible how she's able to maintain that. Like, seriously so. The two songs that stood out the most for me, for two reasons. Not just for Ado, but for the crowd. So, I have a bit of a theory here. I think Ado is going to be playing different covers at different venues, because I've heard that there's been different covers played already. And we got two covers, which I loved. And the first one stood out to me a lot because Ado at this point had been very hype, very energetic, very crazy. And then all of a sudden starts playing a song that I'm very familiar with. Some of you may know it, Stay With Me. And the whole crowd, arms in the air, just this, the whole time. Thousands of people, all this. You got Stay With Me, dooba-dooba-dooba-dooba-dooba-doo. And just like, and everybody. It was such a nice vibe. My heart was melting. It probably would be my favorite song of the night, just from the crowd reaction. It was a complete shift from everyone just losing their minds to suddenly, this is beautiful. It was so random. I loved it so much. It's such a highlight, and Ado just sung it beautifully as well, and everyone just loved it. It changed the whole energy of the venue. It was crazy how quickly Ado had everyone in the palm of her hands, and she could just be like, and switch, and everyone just feels a different emotion. The other song was Show. I'm not joking. When Ado played Show, I thought the building was gonna come down. Every single person was jumping like they were in a club. Everyone. Ado spent about 10 minutes addressing the crowd, talking to the crowd. It was really sweet. Her English is very good. I would presume that she learned a lot of these lines because they come up on the screen like pre-written lines. So I don't know what Ado's English is actually like behind the scenes. And some reactors are saying they got to meet her. I personally did not. I didn't think I was going to, and I'm surprised other people have. So, but no, I did not. Maybe in the future. So I haven't been able to speak to her with English, so I don't know. But she addresses the crowd. She does it in English and Japanese. She does it for about 10 minutes, and she just is very thankful, does a whole speech. It was very emotional. Everyone loved it. Everyone was super supportive, and everyone was just chanting her name to the point where she literally had to stop, and you could see her like getting a little bit embarrassed in the box because everyone was just chanting her name when she was just trying to like say thank you, and everyone was just like, yeah. It was really sweet. And then after that, she goes, I got one more song for you guys tonight, Show. And the whole crowd goes, "Whoa!" Everyone just loses their mind. Everyone goes crazy. And from the moment she started singing it, everyone was just going crazy. Everyone was dancing. Everyone was loving it. I was just jumping around. Everybody. It definitely was like one of the highlights of crowd. Like it's so good. The G.O.T. Musica as well. One Piece song. So she did a bunch of the One Piece songs as well. They were all amazing and awesome live. The opening to that song, that heavy, terrifying opening, just earthquakes across the whole venue. It was awesome. That opening was stunning. Senbon Sakura, is that how you say that song? She did a cover of that as well. This came later on. So Ado said her last song would be Show. She said thank you very much, and she left. And we waited, and then Ado came back for an encore. But Ado's encore was like 5 songs long. You expect someone to come back, do one song, and go goodbye. Ado came back, and I swear she just restarted her set. She's like, let's just keep going. And we got 5 more freaking songs, and she just went through all of them. And it was like, it's like a DLC on the concert. We're like, oh man, all right, here's some more. And I literally saw people leaving after she performed Show, and then I was like, they missed out. They got half the concert. Because Ado just came out and her encore was the second half of the concert. It was awesome. It was so cool. Yeah, it's so cool. And that's pretty much what stood out to me about like everything there. My personal favorite songs are Stay With Me and Show. I think everyone's is going to be Show. The crowd and just the way Ado sings that live, it's impossible not to like love that song. But yeah, I wrote down a bunch of notes when I saw it. So I'll go through them now, and then we'll do the Q&A as well, because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. After the concert, all the lights came on, everyone left, and we all went home. But I want to make sure I didn't miss any of the notes. So yeah, the one thing I wanted to talk about was, so first was how diverse the audience was, which I've mentioned. Like I said, I've never seen a concert like this. It really showcases how wide of an audience Ado has, how wide her reach is, where she's able to have an audience from all over the world, because I've never seen a crowd so diverse. Really surprised at how respectful and kind everyone was, how just sweet the crowd was, how no one had their phones, how everyone was cheering and screaming and being supportive. How many people seemed to know Japanese was really surprising, because when she was talking in Japanese, a lot of people were reacting. And I don't just mean cheering at the end of it, I mean like laughing at certain parts and replying at certain parts. So the crowd was very like Japanese spoken, which I found really impressed as well. Like I said, the songs I wanted to mention were Stay With Me, which the reason I love this song so much is just because how the entire crowd just changed. How we went from all being hype to just cuddling each other. And the way Ado was able to just showcase a complete shift in just changing the entire mood of the venue just like that a true artist struggle for years to do what she did in 5 seconds. It was stunning. And then the like I said, the Senbon Sakura cover she did was just fantastic as well. And I think everyone's favorite song will be Show. I think it's going to be hard not to do that. It's going to be like the mainstream pick, but there'll be a reason a lot of people are going to pick that. I've already mentioned outside the venue. I've already mentioned the crowd. I want to say it was lovely meeting so many people as well. Everyone was really sweet. Yeah, I mentioned Ado's conversation with the crowd as well, which I thought was really sweet. The band! I haven't mentioned the band. So, there was a bunch of band members. You had Ado in the box in the middle, and then you had a keyboardist, I believe, a bassist, guitarist, drum. You had like, I think it was 4 or 5 band members, and I think the bassist was this this lady on the right hand side of the stage. Where I was looking at the stage, and she was just like stealing the show of the band. Like, when you're looking at the band, you were looking at her. She was going for it. She was just like, she was dancing around when she wasn't playing. She was hands in the air. She's losing her mind. I don't know who she is, but I want to know. Her energy was contagious, and everyone just fell in love with her. Absolutely amazing. I think it was the bassist. But yeah, the band was so hyped, so energetic, and let me know what other concerts and venues you guys go to as well, if it's the same with the bassist. But I really loved her. Like, she really like shone brightly on that stage, and I hope she stays there for every single gig. So yeah, and then I put down about Usewa being early with the opening, which I'm very surprised about. How it opens with like the flashes of the entire world, of the country she's seeing, the flower umbrella and the glass shattering. You guys will see that. Let's just say it's sort of how Ado makes her entrance. It's very, very cool. Then the band coming out one by one. I've already talked about the Ado box. And then I feel like they're gonna play different covers at every single venue, but I may be wrong. That's just what my gut is telling me. That's what I think. And then the no camera thing. If you're going to one of these venues, please just follow that rule. It's much nicer for everyone. It's really cool. We don't need to film everything. It doesn't matter. The Ado staff are gonna film stuff. She's gonna put up more videos. We don't need to film with our own phones. No matter how great your camera is, it's not gonna be good as the professional cameras there. So keep your damn phones in your pocket, keep your cameras away, and just enjoy the night. Alright, enjoy the night, and share like stories like I'm sharing now. It's much nicer. Other than that, that is it. That is everything I wanted to talk about. That's everything I wanted to go into depths on. So, there's a Q&A you guys have asked me. So there'll be a little cut here, and then we'll go into the Q&A where I asked you guys to give me some questions that you would all like to know from the concert as well. Okay, so I put a post up on YouTube. I asked all of you to give me some questions, some things you would like to know, and I'm just going to go through them all now. I'll put the questions up on the screen as well so you'll be able to see them. First question is main and obvious question. How was the concert? Did you enjoy it? The concert was incredible. I loved every single moment of it, and I left that concert without a doubt in my mind, literally walking out those doors thinking to myself, this is one of the greatest concerts I've ever been to. Easily the best indoor concert I've ever been to. That's obviously taking festivals out of it. I was like, this is stunning. This is absolutely incredible, and I'm not even exaggerating. Till literally right now, I still feel like I dreamt it. It doesn't feel real. It really doesn't. I can't explain that feeling, but it just doesn't feel real. It is incredible. Next year, or the year after, whenever Ado tours again, keep in mind she's very young, and a lot of people are very upset they couldn't catch this one. This is her first one. I have no doubt in my mind there's going to be more to come. Trust me, I know there's going to be more. Just trust me when I say I know there is, okay? Can't ask how I know, but I know. So don't worry, there's going to be more in the future. Ado's still very young. Crazy to think Ado's still at the start of her career, so a lot more to come. Let's see, what other questions we got? What was most surprising about her concert? What was my favorite song of the night? And were there any songs that you enjoyed more live than you did broadcasted? Ooh, I like that question. So the most surprising thing about the concert, I would say for me, what was most surprising? I think the most surprising thing for me was actually the crowd. I think I had like an image in my head of what I assumed the crowd would look like and how they would act, based on it being the UK. It honestly felt like I was stepping into like an embassy. There was so much diversity across the crowd. It's like nothing I've ever seen anywhere in the UK, ever. And when I was talking to people and how people just got tickets and just flew to whatever country they could, it seemed like people were just like, what country has tickets left? This country. Bought, I'll fly over there. That's what it felt like. You know, like there were so many people there who were just there for the concert. They were like, oh, I've got a plane in 2 hours, I'm flying home. Loads of people. I think that was the thing that I found most surprising, was just how hugely diverse this entire crowd was. It took me by complete surprise. My favorite song of the night, if I had to pick one, I'd pick Stay With Me, the cover. The only reason I'm picking this is because of how quickly the crowd shifted. It felt very strange, and how sweet it was. Ado just immediately changing her voice from this like growl, raspy style that we all love to this sweet, like beautiful, soft vocals, delivering this really sweet romantic song, and then the whole crowd just linking arms and waving. It was beautiful. That moment is a moment that will be seared into my mind forever. And I really hope that going forward, Ado does more songs like that live, like more sweet and like sort of ones like that, because there's a lot of love in her crowd and it really shines when she does songs like that. And were there any songs that I enjoyed more live? Live? What song did I enjoy more live? I think for me, this is a tough one to say, but I think it's got to be said. Musica. The intro to that song alone is awesome. And hearing her do that live and the whole venue just going like the vibrations just going across the crowd, like the ripples on a lake. It was just going all the way back. That opening, I don't think there's a single person that just didn't like freeze. It like deers in the headlights. It was terrifyingly awesome. So I think that, because the reason I'm saying it's tough for me to say is because I love the audio version so much. That live, incredible. People saying they like what I wore. Thank you. What was her best performance of the night and what was my personal favorite? I've already answered that question a bunch of times. I think the whole concert was her best performance of the night. How many tracks in did you get before you started crying? I didn't. I would have literally the second she walked out on stage, but I was on my own. If I was with my wife, crying the whole night, but I was on my own. So I didn't want to cry on my own. I didn't want to be standing there crying. Like, and this isn't like, I think this will come on later on. I'll answer another question. But let's just say, people knew who I was, which I was really surprised about as well. So I got to take a lot of pictures with people and stuff like that. And I didn't want to be crying next to people who know, who might know and who might want to come over. So, you know, be like, oh, it's all right. So I didn't want to do that. So I managed to be all right. A lot of people telling me they're going to see her. I hope you have an awesome time. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? How would you say the songs were live compared to music videos? It's incredible how Ado is able to just sound exactly the same. It really showcases pure talent. When the live performances sound exactly the same as the audio versions of songs, that's when you know you have pure talent. Nothing's been changed or altered in the studio, just her voice. It is pretty much identical. And you'll see when you see her live. She sounds exactly the same. It is incredible. There's not one part like of her live performance that doesn't sound perfected. It is one of the greatest vocal live. It probably is the greatest vocal live performance I've ever seen in my life. The things she does with her voice will just blow your mind. What kind of merch are you gonna get from there? Well, the only thing I got was a t-shirt, but I would have loved to have a lot more. Let's see. Did you? It was. I wasn't already. What's that one? Show off your merch and bring light sticks for your future concert trips. I do hope to see Ado in Japan one day. That's my dream now. I want to see her in Japan. I want to experience like the Japanese atmosphere and attitude towards a concert, and I'd love to see her out there. So hopefully I get to see her out there in the future. That's my plan. I didn't bring a light stick, but loads of people actually had them. Not like the whole crowd, but more than I thought. I'd say there was a good 100 light sticks in the crowd. A lot of people by the front had them. So if you were thinking about bringing a light stick but you weren't sure, get one, bring it. Trust me, loads of other people will be doing it as well. So yeah, you'll see it. I need merch pricing. So I already spoke about this one as well. You're looking at about, I'd say take like 200 quid. It depends what you want. If you want a hoodie, 75 pounds here in the UK, t-shirts, 40 pounds, everything else sort of below that. Those were the two most expensive items. I couldn't see anything else, like in terms, everything was sold out other than those two. And the folders, they do like folders. Personally, I didn't want a folder, but they still look pretty cool. So yeah, let's see, what else was there? How much did you enjoy Ado? Did anyone recognize you? Loads of people. This was my first experience of being recognized. So I just make videos in my room. I don't really do anything outside. You know, I'm not really part of the UK, like big YouTubers in London. So I don't do any like outside videos with them. A lot of the stuff I do is digital, online interviews and that sort of stuff. My audience is mainly Japan, Indonesia, and America. Those are my 3 biggest demographics across the country, across the planet. So I didn't think many people would recognize me or anyone would recognize me in the UK because this isn't my like main country for like demographics. But so many people did. I got recognized within 2 seconds of getting out of the car, and then 2 seconds after that, people in the crowd were saying hi and everything as they were going into the venue. A bunch of people wanted pictures, and everyone was so sweet. At not one point was it awkward. It was really sweet. It was really wholesome. I loved it. It felt like I was just meeting old friends, and it was really sweet. I gave loads of people cuddles and handshakes and pictures, and yeah, I was really surprised. I didn't think anyone would. It's my first experience or something like that. And I was just surprised at how normal it felt. Like, it didn't feel like I was meeting fans. It just felt like I was meeting some friends. It was really nice. So yeah, it was really nice. How was the vibe? Really nice. Everyone was really sweet to each other. It was a really warming vibe. Like, everyone was having a good time. Tons of people went in cosplay. There was a girl who was dressed up literally like a doe from the Musica music video. She looked awesome. There was loads of people in cosplay. And even at the beginning, they announced that they encourage people to go dressing up if they want to. So yeah. It was really sweet. How much was the merch? I didn't see any light sticks on the merch stand. I don't know if there were any there. If there were, I totally missed them, so I didn't see that. How many people were there? I'd say about, I don't know the Troxy venue. I'd say there's about 2,000-3,000 people on the floor, maybe another 1,000, maybe like around 5,000 people. I'd say. And then what else have we got? Was there anything in the concert that surprised you? Already had that. Also curious if anyone broke the rules and brought a camera, since I know it happens. So no one broke the rules. People were on their phones, but just texting. Like the worst I saw was someone looking down, sending a text message. I actually saw someone watching a football match. They were like looking down watching a football match, and I was like, all right. I saw another person playing like Clash of Clans. So that was kind of weird, but not one phone went like this. Not one. Everyone was very respectful, and they kept the box on the entire time. How different is a doe singing live from the recordings? You're going to be surprised by how much it just sounds exactly the same. Like, really sounds exactly the same. Because you just wouldn't expect it. Like, at all. You just wouldn't. You would assume it to sound different. You don't, like, it just makes you realize how much the audio version just aren't edited. It's crazy. What else have we got here? The console in Brussels. Have you experienced the same thing in London? What's this? Had some issues there with phone recordings. A lot of people unfortunately took videos of the concert and the staff couldn't get all of them. Have you experienced the same thing in London? No. So I guess Brussels had an issue with the phone recordings, but no, London was really, really sweet. Like I said, I didn't see one person recording the stage. I don't think they had any issues with it, and it was really nice. It like made me feel proud of like my country and then everyone else there, because I had low hopes for England. The fact that she sang Stay With Me in Brussels was so good. She sang Stay With Me in Brussels as well. I didn't know this. I wonder if she'll do the same performance for every country. Okay. If she is, okay, that's twice that she sung Stay With Me. Bet you're gonna love it. Anyone who's seeing it, that is gonna be amazing. I thought she was gonna like do different ones all the time, but yes, that is gonna be awesome. Oh my god. How much was the merch? So the line for the merch is crazy big, but there will be multiple merch stalls on site. If you just ask the staff, they'll point you in the right direction. So yeah, but it's crazy, and but they do seem to stock it really well. I think they anticipated that a lot of people would be buying it. And yes, how was it English? Did she speak any? So yeah, she spoke English for about 10 minutes of the show. Like I said, I think she practiced those lines based on the fact that she didn't deviate from the lines. But her English was good. Her English was good. She seemed to be quite understanding. Her enunciation was perfect of the line she was saying. And she spent about 5 to 10 minutes speaking English. So I imagine she has fairly decent English. Probably still learning, but it was, from what I heard, it was very, very good. As someone who's never heard of a doe, who is she and what genre of music does she do? I have no idea. I have no idea how to answer the what kind of music does she do? How do you answer that question? Yes. Who is she? The greatest female vocalist of the new generation. That's who a doe is. You will not find a single singer on this planet that has more range than her. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I think in the concert, you may not record without permission. Is it possible to record? Please don't record. Please. You will, there's a lot of security, and it will just ruin the show for everybody else. All right. Please don't record. Did we do better than the French? I don't know what that means. Did I dance? Is that because of the recordings? Like I said, I didn't see anyone in England recording. Did you dance? Yes. I danced like crazy to show. Top Musica, Senbon Sakura, loads like that. I lost my mind, alright? At first, I was very professional. I was there to do a job. I was like, right, I'm here to analyze this concert. And then by the end, I was like, let's go, everybody! Let's do this! So, yeah. Yeah. There you go. That's all the questions. That's all the questions you wonderful people asked me. That is it. And that is it. That is it. That's all I have to say about the concert. I do want to say I had an absolute pleasure. I had a wonderful time attending. I would love to go again. I cannot wait for the next concert. If I was told, if for some reason I was invited to another country to go see her again, I'd go. I'd book my flights right now. I loved it. It was incredible. One of the greatest things I've ever witnessed. And anyone who's going to the show, you are going to have a wonderful time. Anyone who is not, don't be sad. I'm telling you right now, this is the first of many world tours to come. This is Ado's first. So keep that in mind. There is going to be more. So if you're sad you missed this one, please do not worry. There's going to be plenty more chances to come. And anyone who is going, prepare yourself, because you are going to be in for the greatest live concert experience of your life. And it's going to be incredible. And it's going to ruin you for every other concert ever, forever. So hopefully I answered everybody's questions. Hopefully I managed to break down the concert well enough and give you guys a little look into what it was like. And hopefully you all enjoyed this video. I had a really incredible time. I feel incredibly privileged that I got to go. And I'm going to be honest, like, I was really happy that I was able to, because hopefully you guys see this with my reactions and my content. I am someone in this reactor space that is a huge fan of Ado. I've been reacting to her songs for as long as I've been doing reactions, and I just love her so much. So I felt so incredibly lucky that I was able to go. I never thought I was going to be able to. When all the tickets sold out like straight away, I was super bummed out, and I was like, I can't believe I got to attend. It makes me super emotional. I can't believe I actually went. And it's nice to see so many people being like happy, because I know sometimes when creators get invited to these events, they can get like backlash. And it was just really nice to see so many people just saying like, you really deserve to go. Because I just really wanted to. And I'm really glad I got to. Because I just loved it. It was amazing. It was one of the greatest nights I've ever experienced in terms of music, and I cannot wait to go back. And hopefully, one day, we can invite Ado onto our Getting Off Tempo interview show, and we can have a chat with her one day. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there. If you have any more questions, you can put them in the comment section down below. I'll do best to answer any. And for anyone who's going to be seeing Ado live on this world tour, just have an awesome time. And if you've been considering buying some tickets and you haven't yet, buy them. You will not regret it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this giant video. Have an awesome weekend. And as always, my friends, you see me in the next video.